So the BLS, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, just let us know that starting in 2022 in January, they're going to start changing the way that they figure out the consumer price index, which is a metric we use to show what inflation is. Let me tell you why this is going to impact your retirement. To be fair, over the years, they've changed the CPI several times. This is something that's been around since 1913, so after 109 years, the way that we calculate inflation changes. We just got a different lifestyle, what we buy is different, everything changes. So I do think it's fair that it changes periodically. However, it's changed so much since 1990 till now that if you were to use the same criteria that they used just back into the 90s, that our inflation calculations would be quite a bit higher. We just recorded a 7% increase last year, just announced a few days ago, and then it's the highest inflation rate we've seen since 1982. However, I do think that we have to consider how inflation calculations have changed over the years. So yeah, it's high at 7%. But if we were to use the same calculations used in 1990, our inflation rate for 2021 is actually over 10%. But if we were to use the same calculations used in 1980, inflation in 2021 would be over 15%. So we are breaking records. It doesn't seem as bad if we just change the way we calculate it. In a nutshell, the CPI, or the Consumer Price Index, is a basket of goods, and we weight each good a little bit differently depending on how consumers spend their money from year to year. We take data from tens of thousands of retail establishments, and we break it down into food, energy, housing, all the things that's important for day-to-day living. How much does this cost? It's just a way of tracking it. Now you might be thinking, like, why does this even matter to me? I think that younger people don't care as much how this all changes. But as you get older, you do. You care about it. Because you like to do things like, I don't know, eat. I've done a lot of retirement planning for people over the years, and I don't want to oversimplify it, but really what you're doing is just calculating your cash flow in retirement. When you are no longer working, am I going to have enough money to live? And let's plan on this. What are all of our income sources? And most people do calculate in Social Security. You may know that Social Security payments change from year to year. Social Security has something called COLA, or the cost of living adjustments. Every year they use the CPI to figure out how much they should be increasing the Social Security income for retirees. So it kind of seems a conflict of interest in a way. The government is calculating how much increase that they're going to be paying out from a government program to people who are relying on it. And they change the way they calculate the CPI, and without flaw, every time, inflation goes down. So they just mentioned they're changing the way that they weight things in the CPI again. So I guess I'm not going to be surprised if magically inflation goes down in 2022.